This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
I think we're live.
I think we are. Hi everybody, welcome to show 311 Aussie Mac Zone. Zarn, how are you?
Great, Michael. How are you?
Very, very good, thank you, sir. Very, very good. This week we're supported by IT Help to You and a new one, Microseconds.
Excellent.
Microseconds, been around for a long time. I've known them personally for a long time. Can recommend them.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So we'll talk about them in a minute. Our Aussie Apple Ramblings. So following on from last week, a big thanks again to all the rural and city firefighters around the country.
Absolutely.
Doing their bit. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And girls, I should say.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
That's right. So the big news is Apple released via just a press release a 16-inch MacBook Pro, a slightly bigger case than the 15-inch. So that rumor was incorrect. It has 6 speakers, 2 that are pointing away from each other, so they do vibration cancelling. It's got 3 broadcast quality microphones, some conjecture there, but definitely better than any other previous laptop microphones. And the speakers are definitely better than previous ones too. It's got a 100 amp hour battery. And that's the largest battery allowed on an aeroplane. Now the 16-inch display, it's got brighter and denser pixels, and the big thing, a new scissor keyboard based on the Magic Keyboard from 2018. I think it was 2016, with slightly more travel and more spacing between the keys. It also has a physical escape key with the touch bar, and the keyboard is apparently quieter. Now personally, I went to an Apple store on Saturday to test the machine, and in the few minutes I was testing it, noticed very little except for the noise. The 16-inch MacBook Pro was next to a MacBook Air, so I would type on the Pro and then the Air. As someone who was never bothered by the travel, I didn't notice much at all there, but it is significantly more travel. They've also made the keys slightly smaller, the actual keycaps slightly smaller, so that you don't, because it's got that little bit more travel, you don't want to be hitting the key next to it because your finger's going down further. Now lastly, here it can have up to 8 terabytes of storage. Not cheap, but SSD prices from Apple are reducing slowly. So the price for the unit starts at Australian $3,799 and goes, you can spec it all the way up to $9,679 Australian. $3,250 is just for the 8 terabyte SSD. But for someone who is working on heaps of 8K video, for example, 8 terabyte, they need the 8 terabyte SSD. For someone who does heaps and heaps of Photoshop, they'll need the 64 gigabytes of RAM. So, it's got lots of different options there for you. Now, earlier last week, a new app also launched. And it was on the two Apple press pages I look at are the Australian one and the American one. It was on both of those. Now, the augmented reality app helping veterans and others manage anxiety. 3 or 4 times a week, whenever he needs to calm his mind, Steve Mills launches the Helium AR app. Heal, H-E-A-L, as in making better, on his iPhone. His favourite spot to use it is in the park on the banks of the slowly churning Mississippi in Memphis, Tennessee. Sometimes I walk down to the riverfront here and sit on a bench and look at the water, says Mills, as he motions to the app open on his phone, and using this just puts me in a really good state of mind. Mills starts one of Helium AR's guided meditations by first syncing his Apple Watch, which transmits his heart rate to the app. As he takes deeper breaths, his heart rate slows, and a solar system of planets illuminates in front of him. Thanks to the app's use of augmented reality, Helium AR blends storytelling, neuroscience, and game design so users can harness their feelings of power, virtual words, and find a sense of calm. Virtual worlds. And find a sense of calm.
Words would be... They're virtually words.
But yeah, I had a quick look at that, and it looks like a pretty cool app. You know, if you're trying to get calm down.
So cool.
And the bit about the I'll just go back up here.
It's like the heart rate, monitoring your heart rate, and like it says, like what does it say? Deep breaths, his heart rate slows, and a solar system of planets illuminate. Yeah,
like, and how's your breathing and how and your heart rate? I mean, determines how those planets are lit up, or not lit up.
That's really cool.
So just getting you to calm down, stay calm.
I apologize, sir. I'm a little bit tired.
Yeah. This one's New South Wales drivers, but I'm sure it'll go to other states and countries once they see the income. Are you ever tempted to send a quick text or change a song on your mobile phone while driving behind the wheel? Well, you better think twice, because new cutting-edge cameras catching drivers on their mobile phones will be rolled out across New South Wales by the end of the year. This means by December 2019, the New South Government will spend $88 million on rolling out fixed and portable cameras across the state to detect motorists using phones. Unlike speed cameras, there won't be any warning signs to alert drivers as they approach. The covert cameras will operate 24 hours a day in all weather conditions. Until March 1, until March 1, 2020, errant drivers will receive a warning letter, but after that, ignoring the law will cost motorists a $344 fine and 5 demerit points.
You heard that right.
5 demerit points.
5 demerit points.
The move to implement the world's first...
Sorry, the $344 fine on top of that, but 5 demerit points. It's almost half your licence.
In one hit.
In one hit.
The move to implement the world's first mobile phone detection camera program follows a 6-month trial of 3 cameras, which recorded 8.5 million vehicles and found more than 100,000 drivers using their phones illegally.
Wow.
And that's just, as far as I know, that's just on the M4.
Wow.
The high-definition cameras will operate 24 hours a day and use artificial intelligence to spot drivers using their phones, regardless of the weather. And unlike speed cameras, there will be no warning signs as you approach them. Minister for Roads, Andrew Constance, said, "Unfortunately, some drivers haven't received the message and they think they can continue to put the safety of themselves, their passengers and the community at risk without consequence. There is strong community support for a more enforcement to stop illegal mobile phone use, with 80% of people surveyed supporting the use of mobile phone detection cameras," Mr. Constance said. The government will spend $88 million on rolling out the fixed and relocatable trailer-mounted cameras, which will move across a network of locations statewide, targeting illegal mobile phone use anywhere, anytime. The covert cameras are set to bring in $280 million in yearly revenue. So $88 million at the cost is a bargain.
I reckon. So 1 year and you're making triple what you know.
They'll be installed this December at various locations and gradually expand to perform 135 million checks annually by 2023. If one of the 45 cameras catches you using your phone, you receive a warning letter, and after that, as we said, $344 and a 5 demerit point fine. So yeah, basically half your licence in one hit. Now,
hello.
We have our first, our sponsor here, which is Microseconds. Now, I've personally known the boss of Microseconds for probably 30 years.
Excellent.
With different businesses.
Yep.
He's always been associated with Apple in that whole time that I've known him. And now all he does is sell, he does repairs for Macintoshes, but he also does buys and sells second-hand Macintoshes. So he'll buy them 100 at a time or 20 at a time, whatever he can get his hands on, basically, and fix them up, make sure they're all good, and then sell them again. So he's in Ultimo in Sydney, but www.microseconds.com.au, and I can assure you, good people, really good people, good technicians there, good, all the staff really good, and they're interested in solving your problems.
Excellent.
But also selling you good gear. I promise you that. I can promise you that.
So they're in Ultimo?
They're in Ultimo, yeah. Excellent.
So, city people, even if you want to travel in and check it out, it's worth travelling anyway, because if he's selling, good quality second-hand, Mac products, then seems like the place to go. Yeah,
he's open Monday to Thursday.
Yep.
Now, also, like he sells to anybody. He shipped one of these laptops we're going to talk about in a minute overseas the other day.
Yep. So he's, because he's online as well, so he's happy to box them up and ship them out. Yep, fantastic. All over the country, not just Sydney area, and not just
anywhere.
And not just Australia, country, worldwide.
Send stuff to the last iMac I helped him with. He sent it to Adelaide from memory.
Yep.
So very good. Anywhere you want it. Another thing I do for my customers, if they've got a machine that's destroyed, we've managed to get the data out. For example, they'll ring him up, talk to him, pay him, and then I'll pick up the machine because I'm in there twice a week anyway.
Yep.
I'll pick up the machine, bring it here to my place, for example, and they put the data on for them and give it to them.
Excellent.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's all about keeping everyone happy. So, microseconds.
Awesome.
So, so they've acquired some rather nice MacBook Pro 15-inch Retinas, mid-2015. These are the revolutionary Iris Pro graphics chip with spec'd out memory and hard drive, and they are a great unit. Instead of spending $4,000 on the new MacBook Pro, these models, how can I put it?
They're not a downgrade as such, are they?
No.
They've got the similar hard drive. They've got
and
similar memory.
We don't know anything about the 16-inch keyboard because they haven't been out long enough.
Yeah, that's right.
These ones we know about the keyboard. This is the last model with the scissor keyboard, and basically it's the one. You listen to the guys on lots and lots of different podcasts. This is the one they keep around because they can't trust the scissor keyboard.
Yep.
So this is the one they think was the best MacBook Pro ever. Particularly because of the keyboard issue. So So they've got some on special at the moment for $1,800.
Oh, that's excellent.
And as it says, they're spec'd up with a good graphics chip, plenty of memory and hard drive because it's got SSDs in them.
Yep.
So
Well, these are the revolutionary Iris Pro graphic chip.
Yeah.
So, and the spec'd out memory and hard drive.
Yep.
So excellent.
So, and I can tell you, I can trust the people that are selling them to you.
That's microsecond again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Plural. Microseconds.
Microseconds. My apologies.
Yeah. So, microseconds.com.au and you can look them up.
Oh, I'm sorry, people. I'm so tired tonight. Oh,
Yeah.
it's a little bit done. Not
What have
of the
we got
podcast, of course, and of you lovely people, just of my life.
What gaming have we got, my friend?
So I'm going to talk about Pinball Wizard.
Yeah.
Which I played earlier today. I love these little level up games, similar to your old school Mario or your Zelda or Alex the Kid, that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Pinball Wizard really sort of gives you that feel with the sort of the pinball nostalgia as well, the digital pinball. they've got the, what do you call them? The little flippers. Flippers.
Yeah, flippers. Yeah.
Yeah, the pinball flippers there, and you're flipping around a wizard, not a ball. A tiny little, Alex the Kid's style wizard, and you're flipping him around while you're trying to get a key to open a door to get to the top of the tower. Each time you go through a door, it's a next level up. And it just, it gets harder and harder as it goes along, that sort of thing. You get to collect coins or rings, that sort of stuff. It's good fun. If you like those little, platform 1x1 level games, which I do, I love them. I think they're absolutely hilarious. I get addicted to them very quickly. So check it out on Apple Arcade. It's called Pinball Wizard. Also, I've got some information here. Give me a second and I'll find it for you. Can I find it? Yes, it'll probably be there. Is that it? That is not. Go into here. Oh, yes, there we go.
Right on you.
Well, okay, so it says Speed and Techno Pop Blend so this is by Cult of Mac, and they're saying Speed and Techno Pop Blend in Sayonara Wild Hearts. One of the best titles on Apple Arcade. Ride a motorcycle, fly or battle opponents to the beat of the music. Read on to see why everyone with a subscription to Apple's gaming servers should be playing this new offering. Sayonara Wild Heart review. There's a storyline to the game, something about reuniting lost lovers with the power of tarot cards. I never understood it. But then I never put too much effort into trying because a plot is, immaterial. What's important is getting straight to zooming a skateboard through a world of bright colours with music urging you along. All the while picking up crystals to rack up your score. As levels progress, you'll switch to a motorcycle that you'll accelerate down a city street, dodging streetcars and suddenly driving off a cliff to start flying. Then you're back on the road, then you're facing off with a rival driver in combat. That's the most challenging aspect of Sayonara Wild Heart. The rapid switches between game modes within levels. I've played this a fair bit. It's crazy. I loved it. It was so fast and so different to anything I've really played. The only thing I can even sort of liken it to would be the Nintendo game from... I think it was off the 64. I can't remember the name of it now, so it's not important. But just the colours, the music, everything, it's so fast and so much fun. If you really like that fast pace, swap over race sort of game, then give it a go. You really should. In the arcade, like in the Apple Arcade, there's some games that are just, at the moment, are really sort of grabbing me. Sayonara Wild Hearts one, Pinball Wizards another. What else is there? Is it OK Skate? No. What's the skateboard one called? I can't remember.
There's more than one, isn't there?
Oh, the one that anyway.
Yeah.
So I've been addicted to. They're just simple little games. One's really fast, one's a level, and one's just a free open skateboard thing. That I enjoy sort of flicking through if I'm, trying to waste time really. when I should be doing something else. Check them out. That's all I've got. So
that's cool.
That's gaming. That's the two games.
Yeah.
Thank you, and I'll see you next week for gaming. Back to you, Michael.
So Apple TV Plus. We've got some Apple TV Plus to discuss. So my wife and I this week watched the first 3 episodes of Morning Wars, which is the Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell, and it definitely gets better as the show expands the storyline. So the premise is based on the news desk superstar, played by Steve Carell, being dropped for being a sex predator. Oh. Also based on the changing role of news in the social media age.
Yep.
Now, it is a thing, whether we wish to accept it or not, that news has changed significantly.
Oh, absolutely.
Just in the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah, I think, probably in the last 5 years, news has changed so much. Like, I literally this afternoon watched the news, just Channel 7 News, but I didn't watch it on Channel 7, I watched it live on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's just a quick segment they do to sort of catch people, like, all right, this is what's going on, here you go, here's your news, all right, catches it, 5 or 6 or whatever it is for the regular news. And,
So there are changes going on, and this is a way of highlighting them and getting people's opinions on whether they're good or bad. Now, we also watched 2 more episodes of Dickinson, and although set in the 1890s, with its expectations and injustices, it is very contemporary in its language. So it's listed as a comedy, so you just got to get into them. That's the thing. You've got to be watching more than just one episode of them.
Yeah.
Also, there are more movies coming in January after they've been at the cinema, which is probably so they can go in for the Logie nominations.
Oscars.
Now, lastly, on video news, I was lucky enough to go see Ford versus Ferrari last Thursday night because I'm into cars. So, and just as the first pit stop was about to happen in the movie, which is the part that I'm interested in, my Apple Watch went off and said, "We've noticed your heart rate is over 100 BPM, but you don't appear to be exercising." It's because I was I was focused right in on that part of the movie. So, and also I noticed that you can pre-order Ford versus Ferrari on Apple TV for release in December.
Oh, excellent.
And I thought it was just for car nerds like us, but Friday night at Castle Hill, one session was sold out at least an hour before the start time. They put on extra sessions. Saturday night at Blacktown Twin Drive-In, 3 of the 4 sessions, which means 2 sessions were a minute apart playing at the same time because they got
it's a twin screen.
Yeah. So it was the thing was 3 out of 4 sessions that night.
Yeah.
And I can understand why it's a great movie.
You should have seen the lineup at Blacktown Drive-In on the weekend, and it wasn't just normal cars. And so I'm guessing, there's that
they might have a special thing happening.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that rivalry against Ford and Ferrari at that time was amazing. Anyway, as I'm a car person as well, and I know all about it. But the cars in the drive-in, they're all, there's so many hot rods and so many old school lowriders, and then you just had Aussie muscle in the line, and it was just really cool to see and just drive past on your way home, even, like just to have a look at all those classic cars going to the drive-ins.
So no, that was there is a story to it. There is more there than just for car nerds. There is, so you can take the wife along without being worried.
Yep.
Basically, so something else I noticed on Apple's, you can rent, for example, Grand Prix, which came out in the 60s.
Yep.
You can still rent that from Apple.
Excellent.
So yes. Things you can look for if you fall down a hole. And it was a great movie. Now, a friend's iPhone issues. They got it hitting mute when talking, dialing accidentally after hanging up, talking about issues. So she had it in a case.
Okay, Dave.
Jenny. Hello, Jenny, as well. So she had it in a case. So we made a phone call. We hung up. She closed the lid of the case, and it dialed someone straight away. So whether there was whether the case was already pushing a button a bit harder than you'd think.
Yeah.
I don't know. The other thing is, because when I had the case open and put my hand over the camera, which is what's supposed to happen, the screen goes off. So that means when you're holding against your face, that's why you can't push any buttons. Now, but whether she was holding the case funny, so that was holding it too far away from her head, and then she had her hands touching it.
Yep.
I don't know, but I just said you need to think about not having the case or making sure you push the button on the side of the phone when you finish talking, so that it won't dial anybody. I have that problem myself when I had a long screen delay on it.
Yeah.
Because I had deliberately had a long screen delay on it, and I'd hang up and then put it in my pocket and just dial people.
Mine does that now. I still do it because I've got a long screen delay as well, and so it just dials people.
Don't forget IT help to you. So we just do that and having fun. So ithelptoyou.com.au. If you need help with any Apple stuff, give us a call. See what we can do. That's all I can say. That's what we do. Help people with their Apple stuff. So ithelptoyou.com.au. Now, what about this one? This one's got me laughing.
So it's caught up a little bit.
Police tout scam of drug dealers weighing drugs with iPhones. So in a tongue-in-cheek social media post, a police department in North Carolina recently made its community aware of a scam in which untrustworthy drug dealers are using iPhones rather than scales to weigh drugs before selling them. So they put it on the phone, people go, oh yeah, 2 grams or whatever, give me the $50 and take it with you, and when it's only got 1.5 grams or whatever, But
I wouldn't know. Good. Well done, though.
On the department's Facebook page, which includes a picture of an iPhone, the Mint Hill Police Department asked gullible community members to come to the police department and schedule a meet with one of our officers who can assist you by weighing your purchase to ensure you don't get cheated out of what you paid for.
Oh, dearie me.
Come on down.
This is why kids, you don't do drugs.
This is another interesting one. So hundreds of iPhones were stolen from a festival, but they got recovered. Police in Palm Beach, Florida, recovered more than 100 iPhones that had been stolen the previous weekend from the Electric Daisy Carnival in Orlando. The phones, as well as stolen credit cards, were found in the car of a 25-year-old man who has subsequently been arrested. Those whose phones stolen are advised to contact the Orlando Police Department. A different man, 34, was arrested in Orlando for stealing 30 other phones, including iPhones and Samsung models, from the same carnival, reports Click Orlando. So keep your gear with you.
Yes.
Somehow look after your gear. Obviously people think it's an easy place to pinch stuff. I haven't heard of anything down here at our big one that we have at Penrith, but I'll have to try and make sure to find out next year. Now, Cortana, which is Microsoft's virtual assistant, the iOS app to go dark in Australia, UK, Canada on January 31. Microsoft is changing plans for its digital assistant, with the software giant withdrawing availability of Cortana's iOS app for iPhone and iPad in a number of majority territories, starting from January 31. With users forced to use other apps to access content previously synchronized with Windows desktops from their mobiles. Also, while at the Apple Store on the weekend, I got to try the new AirPods. Wow, the AirPods Pro. Wow. Although again, only for about 10 minutes, but wow. The salesperson spent a few minutes sorting out the best ear tips for me. Then we tested the active noise cancelling transparency mode. Wow. So the store was reasonably filled with people, and when the noise cancellation was applied, real silence. Like I'm talking, you click the button and it goes zit, just silence. That transparency mode, which gives you surrounding noise amplified by inbuilt mics, so you have a sense of what's happening around you, because these in-canal earphones are designed to block out the ear of the outside world. So these are now on my Christmas list. I'm looking at you, Zarn. These are on my Christmas list.
Excellent. So if you buy me some, I'll buy you some.
So don't forget the show notes each aussiemaxzone.com.au/AMZ311. There you'll see the last 6 weeks' notes. You can email Michael or Zarn.
Because I'm so sorry for what you're seeing at the moment. Just know that this is in super slow-mo.
So, I don't know what's going on.
And we're not doing drugs. Oh my God.
It still says it's recording. It's still at a temperature that's all right.
Yeah.
Drop frame 0. So, anyway, thanks to our sponsors being Microseconds and IT Help to you, but more importantly, our supporters, you, our listeners.
Remember, an apple a day keeps the androids away. See you guys. Thank you.